We're here at the World Endurance Championship at Silverstone for the 6-hour race, and we're going to be finding out how and why the LMP1 class is the most extreme category in racing. Not only this, we're going to be joined by none other than Ollie Webb, a man who I need some tips from on Instagram, and actually he's out just outside here, inside here even. It's Bike Hollis Racing. He's Ollie, how are you doing, mate? You good?
Hey,
how's it going? Yeah, nice to see you.
Looking at some data.
Data, how's it looking?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Really good, perfect. We're going to be looking at how extreme LMP1 is today. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. So, the inside, Ollie, you tell me, is very, very small, very cramped, especially for a man of your structure. How do you survive an endurance race in there?
Yeah, it's built for kind of 5'5" to 5'8", and on my CV I am 5'8". In real life I'm 5'8", and yeah, so it is cramped. So my knees are on the wheel, my elbows are in the bottom of the chassis, and then the steering wheel is obviously right close to our chest. But it not only is it hard kind of to sit in, the hardest bit is being able to control all the buttons and functions on the wheel and outside of the car from being that cramped, because normally you have them further in your peripheral, but for me they're here, so they're like, oh yeah, just map 11, and I'm like,
is it actually that close?
Honestly, it's man, no, it's like here, but it's close. You generally want just a little bit of a bend. Does it just remind you when you first passed your test? Yeah. And you're like, just a little bit of a bend, and I'm like this. It's
That's insane.
Yeah, so other than that, all these parts are all new from Le Mans. So Le Mans is a low downforce kit, low drag, now high downforce. Silverstone's all about the downforce. The whole car has to change. So new rear wing assembly, new rear bonnet or bodywork, whatever you want to call it. And then the front assembly, all different underneath as well. So it's a big change.
I now hand you over to Ollie Webb, who is going to give you a nice rundown and take over my job as WTF1 presenter.
Yes, thank you. So, LMP1 car, top category of FIA WEC. At the front of the car, all the downforce comes from the front wings that we've got. They're attached to the covered arches, so unlike Formula 1, our wheels are completely covered, but we have the same carbon discs and same material that the F1 teams use, so over 1,000 degrees C into the temperature of those discs. We have power steering, so unlike some categories, we have power steering on the front of our car, carbon monocoque, and as we make our way around, we have our new body kit on the side of the car. This gives us a lot more downforce at Silverstone than the low drag downforce we would have had at Le Mans. As you come down, a lot of these vents, not only for downforce, but they're for cooling into the car. And then if you want to have a quick peek inside, you can see how tight it is inside the cockpit. The seat is moulded to us, and we have smaller seats then as well, moulded to our body shape, which then we place inside the car for when we get inside. Coming around to the back of the car, obviously engine sits in the back, strut braces, and then all the downforce at the back of the car is mainly coming from the floor. Very little actually comes from the rear wing. And then yeah, that is pretty much in 30 seconds an LMP1 car.
Ollie's a little bit too good at presenting for my liking, so let's go and interview him instead to find out a little bit more about him. So Ollie, we know everything about your car. It's now time to find out a little bit about you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the riskiest part, but okay, let's do it.
Fantastic. Let's start with a safe question. So I've seen your Instagram. I think many people have seen your Instagram. What is it like to be the Dan Bazarian of motorsport?
I think it's I think it's a privilege to be called that. Is it? No? Is my girlfriend
It's glamorous.
watching? Is it? It's mainly males that watch this channel, right?
Yeah, I think so. 95%, I think.
Oh, it's great. It's better than my ratio anyway. Yeah, it's nice to be busy off track as well as on track.
It's glamorous.
Yeah, it's fun. Being able to be in cars kind of most days of my life, I love it.
One of our videographers, Ali, he's a big WEC fan. We tease him for being a WEC fan. Why is WEC so good from your perspective? What makes it such a great motorsport for maybe Formula 1 fans that don't watch it or don't give it the time of day?
Yeah, I think it's still a lot more open than people realise. The technology that's involved in the cars, again referring to that lap that 919 did, it just shows what these cars are capable of, and by no means is the kind of technology passed down for Formula One anymore. We're at that level where we're passing it down as much as they are. So yes, IndyCar is an exciting category, but obviously it's quite fixed in what they can do. We're still very much open in what we can do. We're a privateer team, so like every single weekend we come, we might suddenly have 100 kilograms more of downforce here, and there's all of a sudden Nismo of like, oh, we kind of found 100 horsepower in the side draw, and
which is good news for you. You wake up and you're like, yeah, okay,
yeah, I'll take that. So it's exciting because every time you come to it, it's different, and you have 2 to 3 drivers in every single car, so you get 3 times your money for your drivers if you're watching it and you're subscribing to it and you're racing in it. You've got all the kind of world's top GT drivers, ex and current Formula One drivers in it, and it just goes to show when you're kind of walking through the paddock and Jenson, Alonso, Pastor Maldonado, Petrov, all these guys are here. It's because it's the competitiveness of Formula One with a much more relaxed atmosphere of IndyCar mashed together into one weekend.
So we'll go through a quick few questions that I've actually made up myself. So please have.
I'm doing a quick fire.
It's not a pub quiz, so I'm not going to ask you where things are. Don't worry, my geography is as bad as anyone's. You're on the X Factor. What song would you sing?
What's that "Don't Stop Believing" one that I?
As in, The Journey.
The Journey. That's it.
What?
That is what
not Glee.
Sing. No, of course not.
Definitely
Glee, because of the Family Guy sketch when Peter Griffin sings it, and that's hilarious.
You've driven an F1 car, right? Surely.
Yeah, I've driven an F1 car a couple of times, both in testing or demo runs, but never done a race. So.
How does it compare to driving an LMP1 car?
It because it's so much lighter, you feel the downforce a lot more. The LMP1 car feels like it has more power because of the sheer grunt of the thing. So it's like it has such a different feel. They produce both amazing lap times, but the Formula 1 car definitely feels lighter on its feet and much more specifically made for a job rather than around rules. Like we're made around rules a little bit more.
Yeah. How many push-ups can you do?
Oh, I actually did this on a YouTube video recently as well. I definitely lasted till the end.
There's enough space.
No, it's too tight. It's way too tight here. We can't do it. It's the angle of the camera.
Yeah.
The answer I can't remember, so we'll just go with 200, just because I can't remember.
200, yeah, that's good. Okay, what's the best racetrack in the world?
Oh, the best racetrack in the world. Oh, it's so repetitive to say, but Spa, just with a downforce car, nothing beats it. If I had to pick a street track, Po. If I had to pick a normal track, then Spa, Oval, Indy. Okay,
true or false now? You ready?
Okay.
This is tough. Okay. If any of them you don't want to answer, tough. Nico Rosberg deserved the 2016 title.
True.
Fernando Alonso is the best driver in F1, although he's leaving.
Oh, I don't know. That I'd have to be more involved to know.
Okay. F1 is the pinnacle of motorsport.
In engineering terms, true.
In what other terms?
It's hard to compare with the I think driving the top few drivers in IndyCar, WEC, here, or almost most championships now are the top. I mean, you could take a top BTCC guy and you stick him in a GT Pro with some testing here and he'll be competitive.
So the cream of the crop in each racing category
are
pretty damn good. Awesome. Formula E is the future.
I'm going to have to say true. That didn't... Yeah, true. It seems like it's going that way. Yeah. I'm really bad at this true or false. I'm like, true, but let me expand for 5 minutes.
Half true, half false.
Well, true, it seems that way, doesn't it?
It does. If you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Yeah, true.
Do you make racing car noises when you sleep?
Yeah, true. Damn it.
That's amazing. I really hope that is actually true. Well, Ollie, thank you. I feel like we know you a lot better now. Do you feel like you've given away a lot of information?
Yeah, too much. I knew it was going to happen.
I miss you already. Oh man, what a face. Right, okay, we're done here at the World Endurance Championship. What a day it has been. Thank you to Ollie Webb for joining us and telling us all about the LMP1 class. Is it the most extreme? Let us know in the comment section below. I personally think it is. And until next time, I'm Matt with WTF1. See you later. Rory, stop walking into people.
He was right behind you the whole time.